What up, Chicken Nuggets? Tyler here, and today I want to show you or tell you about my favorite card show hack when it comes to bridging the gap in a deal when you're just not quite there. So I'm going to set the scene for you, all right? I was at the National last year, and I was working with a table, and I love the dudes there. They're great. Underdog, they're awesome. And I had them look at a bunch of my cards. I had to toss them a bunch of cards, like, how much would you want to buy these for? And while they were doing it, I was walking around just checking out all the cards they had, okay? And I had all mine priced, I think like $1 under comps. That way I can say they're under comps. And then they went in, added up their value at the percentage they thought they could make enough money to resell them. And so I think I had on there, I want to say like $1,100, I think is what total sticker price was based on the recent comps. And they came in and offered me $900. And I was like, man, I'd really like to get to $1,000 on that. But they were like, we can't do it because they need to make a certain amount of money based on those cards. And so I thought to myself, I just seen a Steph Curry card. I think it was priced at like $2 or $250. It was a Fusion rookie numbered card. Okay. So not a crazy card for a Curry numbered rookie, because it was like, I think, press pass or something like that. But they had it priced like $2 or $250. Now, you got to think, if I'd have just gone up and tried to buy that card, they would have probably placed it around $150 to $200. That's kind of in my head when I see some price at a table. Usually they'll come down 10, 20%. And so I'm sitting there, and I didn't really want to let all those cards go for $900 because I knew I could just hold them, sell them at a show myself, maybe make a little more money. But I also know I wanted that Curry card, and I'd like a little cash to walk around the show. And so I sit there and I'm like, I'll do the $900, the amount you wanted, but can I take that Curry with me? And he said, let's do it. He didn't even know which Curry I was talking about. Like, I was like, okay, wish I'd asked for like a, Topps refractor. That would have been sick. But he said, sure. And it ended up being like $200 on their price. So he's probably got like $150 in it, And so really they got a deal because now they got those cards and they're going to make that margin. And who knows, they might have had that car for a while. Now, if I'd have been like your Downtowns or your Kabooms, I know he wouldn't have done that because those are very liquid cards and people pay 90 to 100% on those. All right. That's where I first got the idea for this, and now I do it all the time. When I want to buy a card, but the dealer is not coming down exactly where I want them to, what I'll do is I'll sit and I'll like scout the table beforehand before I ever pitch on the other one, and I have like a second and third place card that I would like that is around 10 to 25% of the value of that other card. Because I know if we're off, like I'm not even going to really talk to them about it if they're, 150% above comp. Like if they're double comps, like it's not going to work. We're not going to get there, especially if they don't like come out and say like, hey, I priced these a long time ago. Let's talk about it. I do that sometimes. If I don't have time to price all the cards for a show, when people come up, I'm like, hey, here's the deal. I priced all of these 6 months ago. If it's good, don't tell me, just buy it. If it's gone up or if it's gone down, just let me know and we'll figure it out. And so I'll go and I'll scout the table and I'll have my number one card I want. That's probably like the largest price card, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the bulk of what I want to get. And then what I'll do is I'll find like a second and third place card that I would like if it was a great deal on that card. And so I'll walk up and I'll pitch, hey, would you take this much for this card? You always want to set the anchor, by the way. Even if they have a sticker on it, you want to set the anchor. If you're going to come down way low, like if you think their comps are way too high, sometimes I'll say stuff like, I'm sorry to say this, or I hope, would it offend you if I throw out a number? You want them to say no. That's a negotiation technique. You want them to say no because it gives them the power. They feel like they have the power in the negotiation. But then also you want to set the anchor in the verbal conversation. I know you're like, well, they already set the anchor with the sticker. You want to set the anchor with the verbal conversation, okay? So I'll throw out the number, and then we kind of go back and forth. And a lot of times we'll close the gap. They'll have their original price, I'll have my price, and then we'll get closer, and hopefully closer to your anchor number that you threw out. And if it's still not there, like you still can't like justify in your heart of hearts that you want to pay that amount, then that's when you bring in your second and third, the ones that are like 10 to 25% of the value of that main card. And you're like, I'll do your price. Can you throw in that card and we'll do it? Or throw in that card and we'll make this deal. You want to make it easy for them to say yes. Okay, that's the number one thing. You want to make it easy for them to finish the deal. And I'll be honest, it almost always works. Now, if I have a $100 card and I'm trying to get them to throw in a $75 card, that it's not going to work because they're too close. It's essentially saying that's double, But I'd say like 4 out of 5 times, dealers will say yes. Okay. Every now and then have in your mind a number you're cool with, because like I did this at a show at Nashville there was a card I wanted. He wanted $100 for it. I was like, man, I don't really want to pay $100. But he wasn't budging off that $100. He wanted that $100 for this like Steph Curry gold. It was like wearing a Davidson jersey. And I was like, man, $100. But I had seen a Caitlin Clark red wave that he had priced at like, I want to say he had it like $30. And I was like, you know, it's a little higher than my 10 to 25% range I like to be, but I'll give it a shot and see what happens. I figured he would do what he did, and he did. That's a weird way to say that, but you get it. I said, $100, I'll do the Curry for 100. Can you toss in the Caitlin? It's a smaller card. A lot of times you never know if they don't have much in it. Maybe he just does toss it in. He ended up coming back with, I'll do both of them for 110. So it's like just in a negotiation, you know, you set the anchor, they have another number, and then you kind of keep chipping away at it, and you hopefully get closer to either the middle or ideally closer to your anchor. But whenever you throw in another card and then they toss in a number, it's almost like you're saying, I'm willing to give you your amount of money if you'll toss in this other piece of cardboard with it. Now he's throwing out another number, it was a third of what he had that Caitlin priced at. And I was just like, he said 110. I immediately said, let's do it, because we are essentially chipping away at it. And now he's going to get more money than he thought he would originally. And I get more cards. And I'm, you know, if I want to keep the Caitlin, or I honestly felt like I could grade and sell it and get a better deal. And so it's like, I'm able to make that margin with those other cards, and he's able to make even more money than he set out to do. So I actually thought of this because before I was about to record, I got a notification. It was King of Cards, which is Kyle. He's awesome. Really highly recommend Kyle. I've talked to him a couple of times at different shows. Super nice guy. Every time I've spoken with him, he's doing a phenomenal job in the sports card content space. He's just doing a great job. And King of Cards had a video, and in it, like, he did a deal, and then they weren't getting close enough, and so he said, would you throw this in? He did exactly what I talked about. He said, throw in that card, and, you know, they went up a little bit, but he had margin on that new card to where it worked out. And so I said in the comments, and I think this had been like a few months ago, I just said an extra card for their price is always the move, which, again, is what I've just been talking to you about. And so I like that one comment because his videos do really well. In that one comment, it's had like 600 likes because it is a great negotiation technique, because now you're walking away with more things you like, and you got that price. And the dealer walks away as a winner because they got the price they asked for. So you get more of the things you like. They get more the money they wanted originally. You've both won in this negotiation. It's like if you're going to buy a used car and it's a little over what you want to pay, you get them to throw in a brand new pair of tires, or swap the rims off that, stick it on mine. Now I got, you know, riding on 22s, got the blades spinning, ride spinners. We ride spinners. They don't stop. Anybody? Nope. Okay. And so you throw that on your new Camry. Got dubs, catching dubs. So that's my advice for you today. That's my tip. Try that out. Let me know, how does this work for you? Do you have a variation of that you do with regards to like buying or selling that you want to throw in, add to the community? Toss it in the comments. I'd love to see. I know everybody else would too. We love tips whenever we're doing these negotiations. I've been thinking about doing like a series where I just go through like a bunch of negotiation techniques. And I'm not saying I'm the best at it, but I do have a lot of techniques that I use that I'd love to share with you, and hopefully you can make even better. Give me tips. Also, throwing this out there, let me know somebody in the last YouTube video said the audio was off. My audio was using this mic for the first half, and then I got like a call in the middle of it, and it cut off my mic, so I had to use the camera mic. So there was that. But if there's any boo-boo on this, holla at your boy and let me know. I'm going to try to get it fixed for you, get it clean. I want it to sound good. I want you guys to enjoy this with your earlobes. That was a weird way to say it, but you catching vibes. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to like or subscribe, if you're on YouTube or Spotify, those ratings help. But also, follow your heart. Do whatever you want. That's what Kelly Clarkson says, and that's what we do. Y'all be good, stay sweet, and never stop collecting. Sports cards are dope. So are you. Later, y'all. Bye.